What's going on there, guys, and welcome back to another awesome video on our channel. Another day, another comic book movie. No matter your feelings about where Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne stacks up against the Batman of days past, it seems like fans were mostly happy about the Batman movie. The real question now is whether there's a sequel coming soon or not. Let's find out right here in this video. Number 1. What's in store for the future of Matt Reeves' Gotham City? Let's start with the villains. First of all, as Reeves mentioned in the Independent interview, it seems like an HBO series following Colin Farrell's Penguin is the next project we'll see from this particular Batverse. Expect that series should additionally investigate the crime and corruption happening around in Gotham, which we certainly just had a brief look at in The Batman. Now, what do you think of Batman's ending? We see the Riddler recently tossed into Arkham Asylum for trying to flood the entirety of Gotham, chatting up his next-door neighbor. Who does that voice belong to, you ask? Reeves told Variety that the secret person's dreadful giggle had a place with, in all honesty, the Joker, played by Barry Keoghan. While you'd think that this is a clear seg into the Batman 2, Reeves seemed more interested in exploring the Joker and Riddler's futures in an Arkham Asylum-focused TV series for HBO Max. There are things we've talked about there, he said, so it's very possible. It also isn't impossible that there is some story that comes back where Joker comes into our world. Honestly, we just want to see another filmmaker dare to put Mr. Freeze back in a live-action Batman movie. Stranger things have happened. If we're talking about the Batman 2 proper, you'd imagine that Bruce Wayne would have to manage whatever horror the Penguin, Riddler, and perhaps Joker concoct in those HBO Max shows. Besides, you trust that, considering we met a very emotional Batman around 2 years into his wrongdoing battling residency. Wayne would begin to develop into power outside of the Batsuit, a la Christian Bale's cycle. Notwithstanding, we're simply glad that the closure of the Batman has the person understanding that being a saint is, something to be thankful for. The sky's the limit from that point, man. Number 2, will there be a sequel to the Batman? In short, yes. It's just a matter of when. In an interview with Comic Book, the Batman producer Dylan Clark said, "I will go on record and say that it will be less than 5 years, so we can safely book the Batman 2 for some time between now and 2027. It does sound like too long of a period without Battison in our lives, however, don't fear." The director Matt Reeves confirmed the Batman sequel to The Independent as well as potential HBO Max spin-offs. We're already telling other stories in the streaming space. We're doing stuff on HBO Max. We're doing a Penguin show with Colin Farrell, which is going to be super cool, Reeves said. And we're working on some other stuff too, but we've started talking about another movie. Nonetheless, fans of Matt Reeves' Gotham won't have to wait quite that long to return to that world. 2 HBO Max spin-off series for the Batman are currently in the works, one starring Colin Farrell's Penguin and another diving into the GCPD, which is expected to feature Jeffrey Wright's Commissioner Gordon. Number 3, how the Batman's ending sets up a sequel. The Batman closes with a penultimate scene that sees the Riddler getting to know the Joker in Arkham Asylum, teasing an expected union between the villainous pair in the Batman 2. Joker's riddle potentially indicates the appearance of the Court of Owls, a criminal group made up of Gotham's wealthiest citizens. A voiceover from Pattinson's Cape Crusader suggests Gotham will reconstruct, but the chaos and corruption will be at an all-time high following the demise of Carmine Falcone, who held a ton of force. Out of that turmoil, the Penguin, who was Falcone's right-hand man, could arise as a major villain in the Batman 2. He has the associations with doing as such, and it appears as though he's been sidelined for far too long. Penguin's spin-off show could very well lead into his story in the sequel. Pattinson recently uncovered he has, as of now, outlined the heading of his personality for the following 2 motion pictures, and on the off chance that Reeves has comparatively been preparing, maybe a spin-off could be pushed ahead quicker than some might anticipate. Number 4, the Batman 2 cast. Who could return and who might debut? Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Jeffrey Wright, and Andy Serkis will more than likely return as Batman, Catwoman, Jim Gordon, and Alfred respectively. Paul Dano will probably not be back because the Riddler was arrested, but he could always return in a smaller capacity. Barry Keoghan as Joker could play a larger role in the Batman 2 as well. Besides the Penguin and Joker coming to the forefront, the Batman 2 could also focus on Hush, aka Timmy Elliott, a villain who was heavily teased in the film through Edward Elliot. The sequel may also introduce villains from the comics who weren't in the first film. Clayface, Scarecrow, and so many other great characters from Batman's Rogues Gallery could appear. The Court of Owls and Robin could also debut in a sequel Batman film. This brings us to the end of our video. So what do you guys think? Do you think the sequel to the Batman movie will come out within 5 years, or will it be even more? Are there any plot twists that you think might happen in the sequel? Do let us know everything down in the comments section below. Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never have to miss out on any of our future updates. Until next time, take care.